harder. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one to stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat your children.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Corner Cut Man podcast. I'm your host with the left hook and a right uppercut. My name is Iron Right Tyson, and thanks for tuning in. This is the first episode, and of course, we're dealing with some things that's happening right now in the boxing world. Of course, we have boxing politics taking a toll. We have Triple G and the Canelo fight that may or may not happen may or may not happen on Cinco de Mayo next year. So we'll see. We know Canelo is pretty much the number one pay-per-view draw in boxing at this point. So we just gotta wait and see. I know it looks like his team is pulling, the make him wait card, because every day Canelo gets older, Triple G gets older, and Triple G is in his late 30s, so we can see he did kind of look like a shell of himself in that last fight with Canelo. Have to be honest. So I can understand why they would call it a draw. However, the scorecards were a little, fabricated. We'll just use that word. But of course, they're trying to do whatever they can just to make sure Canelo remains that number one draw, which I understand. However, you do have his boss stepping on his toes as well. De La Hoya, of course, is doing what's expected of him. He's coming on and talking shit for no reason. I mean, his promotion company is doing good. Just stick to promoting. He recently said that he's been training and he would fight Conor McGregor, so he was calling him out after he bashed Floyd Mayweather for disrespecting boxing and giving this amateur a shot at the title. Now, we all know Oscar De La Hoya, sometimes he talks just because he has a mouth, so no one really pays attention to, what he says unless the word Canelo comes out of his mouth. So, just want you guys to stay away from that bullshit. And also, we have a new shit talker emerging in Deontay Wilder. Now, Wilder is pretty much pissed off that Anthony Joshua hasn't submitted any paperwork, any contracts. Of course, his promoter was just in the States for the Danny Jacobs fight. And from there, an interview has came up where Anthony Joshua informs that, he doesn't do his talking for the camera. He handles his business behind closed doors. So, of course, Anthony Joshua is taking a high road and not getting into a social media or Twitter war with Deontay Wilder. Like he said, once the business is handled, he'll get into a boxing war with Deontay Wilder. However, Deontay Wilder has taken to Instagram, referring to his WBC title as Sophia, and I quote, "Sophia is getting lonely. She needs some sister wives." At Anthony Joshua, don't wait, make the date, mate. #Bomb Squad. Now, there's typical boxing trash talk, of course, with in present time with boxers and promoters having their social media pages. They can pretty much talk trash to whoever they want to. That's really how the Rigondeaux and Lomachenko fight. That's pretty much how it was made. So maybe Wilder is on or something. So we'll see what updates come within the next month, 2 months. Hopefully we can get that fight in maybe the middle of next year. Hopefully in the O2 Center, because I would like to see Deontay Wilder fight in front of 70,000 fans. And it should be a good fight. Now, a beautiful segue, as I said, we are almost near December 9th, Madison Square Garden, Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux. That's going to be a beautiful fight. It's going to be a high-speed chess match. Two snipers in the ring, right? These guys are both decorated amateurs with extensive, immaculate amateur backgrounds. Two southpaws, both are two-time gold medal Olympians. So this is going to be a great fight. I honestly think whoever can beat their man to the punch is definitely gonna win that fight. I think whoever wins is gonna win it by a unanimous decision. However, I can see a knockout coming from either side as well. We all know Rigondeaux is really powerful with that left hand, and excuse me. He does possess knockout power in his weight class. Now he is moving up 2 weight classes, so we may not know if that power translate over. We shall see. The thing with Lomachenko, he has power and speed and footwork as well as Rigondeaux, but with it being in his weight class, he may have the power over Rigondeaux. So we shall see. But I know the entire boxing world is excited. Of course, you have the casual fans who are excited about Lomachenko, and you have all of the boxing fans who's rooting for Lomachenko, saying that Rigondeaux is going to be boring. I'm going to fall asleep. But for all my pure boxing fans, all my purists, you guys are going to love this fight. So get your popcorn and get your pizza and your hot wings and your beer. And let's all sit back and watch the show, because it's going to be a beautiful dance. Now, going to Triple G Canelo, going back, 160 is really heating up. We have Jamal Charlo, who recently moved up. He already had one fight at 160, and he pretty much just demolished the guy. But from here, news struck out yesterday. I was on BoxingScene.com, where Jamal Charlo is going to fight for the interim WBC belt. Now, his opponent hasn't been announced yet, but I'm pretty sure it probably won't be, a guy on his talent level. But he's pretty much going to do what he's been doing for the past couple fights, just destroy his opponents. And because he doesn't have to drain as much weight getting down to 160, he's really going to show us what he's made of. And I think that power is going to increase at 160. That jab was looking good in his last fight. And I honestly think he possesses a lot of problems for Triple G and Canelo, Danny Jacobs, David Lemieux, Billy Joe Saunders. Like, all these guys at 160, he possesses a problem for. He's young, he's powerful, he's quick. He has great boxing IQ, great ring intelligence. And that jab is just as pure as can be. So we should see what comes of that. I'll definitely be sure to let you guys know exactly what updates come from that as well. Now, moving on to 147. Since we were just discussing a Houston boxer, we're gonna go over to another Dallas boxer, and Errol Spence Jr., who's gonna be fighting Lamont Peterson. Now, RingTV.com has Lamont Peterson ranked at number 6. However, this being Errol Spence's first title fight, first title defense, he wanted, of course, someone one of the big names. Even though Lamont Peterson is a big name at that weight class, he hasn't fought in a while. He did. He always has like some kind of layoff after he's done fighting. So a lot of people are dodging Errol Spence. So we should see what comes of that, because Danny Garcia hasn't fought all year. Since he lost the title to Keith Thurman, I think his team has him on ice until they can find an easier route to the title. Because at this point, you have Keith Thurman holding 2 titles, and you have Errol Spence holding, the IBF title. I honestly think they would probably go for the Jeff Horn fight. However, Terrence Crawford, ladies and gentlemen, has invaded the territory of the 147 weight class. So we shall see how things spill out the glass within the next year, because Terrence Crawford, I'm pretty sure, based on boxing organizations, he's gonna definitely fight for a title within his first 2 fights. Jeff Horn is promoted by Bob Arum as well as Terrence Crawford, so we shall see exactly what comes of that, because I have been hearing talks where Jeff Horn and Terrence Crawford will probably fight, maybe down the line. So we shall see, because Terrence Crawford really wants the big name fights. He wants Keith Thurman, but Terrence Crawford is the type of fighter, if he can't get Keith Thurman, he'll take the next best thing, which is Errol Spence Jr. So we should see how those cards fall.